This is Oklahoma's own News 9.
For a pet owner, there may be no worse feeling than not knowing where your beloved family member is.
That was the case for a Metro family whose dog now has an amazing story to share, and so do police, as we learned in our Red Dirt Diaries. For those used to hearing barking in this southwest OKC neighborhood, it was sudden silence.
There was tears for sure.
And unbearable sadness.
Lola, she was the one that was most heartbroken.
Recently, while the family was away, Darcy Crawford says their rambunctious dog, Dennis, got loose from a friend's backyard near Rockwell and Northwest 50th.
Aunts, uncles, mom, dad, cousins, we were all just out looking for him.
According to posts from people on social media, the 4-year-old 100-pound Labradoodle mix was spotted around Rockwell and 36th and again behind the Walmart at Northwest Expressway and Council. But Dennis wasn't found.
We were kind of coming to the terms of he's just not going to be back home.
On the 7th day, though, hope would come from a strange location.
911, what's your emergency?
Well, I don't really have an emergency, but there's a dog stuck in Lake Hefner. It's a pretty good-sized dog. Come here, puppy. Yeah, he's going to get tired and drown.
Nobody knew that more than officers Jimmy Parsons and Tony Sanchez. They combed the banks of the lake by boat, looking for the curly-haired swimmer.
I don't know, I was thinking about maybe we ought to give up because we've been out there for a while.
And you're going to pull him in the boat.
But their luck changed
Come here.
in the middle of Lake Hefner.
Want a treat?
Body cam video captures a cold, confused, and exhausted Dennis, at least a mile from shore.
You could tell he'd probably been out there for a long time.
The officers used a rope to pull Dennis into the boat.
Good boy.
And Officer Parsons called the number on his collar.
We have your dog. And I said, oh, great, where can I meet you? And he said, well, on a boat in Lake Hefner. I said, okay, didn't think to check the lake.
That barking echoes once again through this neighborhood.
After those first few days of just sleeping really hard, he's back to himself, like nothing ever happened.
Back to protecting the family, which squeezes him extra tight tonight.
I can't thank them enough for bringing our Dennis back.
"13-year-old Trent Fanninstill
I started about 3 summers ago.
looks at it as a job,
I just wanted to make some extra money.
going back and forth.
We always had to do it like a specific way.
It was Trent's stepfather who set that standard.
He's like, you missed a spot in the backyard. And he could have easily just gotten it with the trimmer, but he made me get dressed in my mowing stuff again, grab the mower, bring it all the way back into the backyard, mow that little spot.
Those life lessons
Do it right the first time.
made it clear early on to Trent's mom that this was more than a job.
Really trying to be a dad to him. Yeah. And teach him things that, you know, that a young
Greg Blackwood was a beloved member of our News 9 newsroom and an integral part of the Sooner radio broadcast team.
Throw out, it is! Intercepted! We got it intercepted!
Less than 2 weeks before Christmas last year, Greg lost his battle with cancer.
He just really enjoyed it. He loved it. He loved mowing.
Greg started his side lawn care business with Trent in mind long before he could be trusted with a real lawnmower, and eventually brought him on as his first and only employee.
He always called him his apprentice, you know. Someday this will all be yours, you know.
Someday is now today.
Tip the mower back down.
Trent learned to change the oil in the mower on YouTube. He got his buddy to help and contacted all of Greg's old customers.
What he's doing is really great.
Who never thought of hiring anyone else.
That's really amazing because that I can give example to my kid.
Thank you.
The cash is still nice, but this summer job
I could do something easier and make more money, but it just wouldn't be the same.
Is earning something money can't buy.
There's a part of Greg, you know, that's really flourishing in Trent and the things that he taught him. It is comforting.
September 2018 in Bricktown, a horrifying accident by the railroad tracks.
I was in between the cargoes and the train just started on me and I just wasn't able to get my left leg out of time.
Derek Loxodon's foot was severed.
How am I going to move on in my life?
His confidence shattered, and his football career at UCO seemingly over.
I always thought about it, but I never really visualized it. And it took a long time to get over that stage of me actually, believing myself.
That's where teammates pulled him up like they do on the field, confirming what Derek would daydream about, a comeback to college football.
It was an old teammate of mine, Jeremiah Hill, and we came out here and he was doing sprints and he put me through a workout and he was like, dang, bro, you could really move.
The former Westmore Jaguar, known to his friends as D-Lock, started recording himself with his prosthetic leg, relearning the game he loves, tweaking his techniques, and pushing harder than ever before.
I had to put myself through a lot of pain, just to be out here, just to be with my teammates.
The amputee,
randomly walking the hallway and just stop on one leg.
Once self-conscious about his leg,
the cheetah,
was showing us the one he'd wear on the field for his first game since his accident nearly 3 years ago.
Wrapped around with a pool noodle and some pre-wrap.
On Thursday, his team, his family, and some new Bronco fans watched as the comeback became complete.
We have some of our young patients here tonight to see the abilities of people with a disability, with limb loss, and they can see that they can achieve their goals.
The safety turned linebacker, now with a new position on and off the field.
Turned into me being able to pick up a significant role on the team and become a leader, and now it's turning into something more than I expected.
81-year-old Carolyn Trammell is an accountant at Arrow Record.
Now you have to put postage on it.
Who understands the importance of good record keeping.
This is a honey gold.
Which is why she's kept everything associated with her first big purchase.
You put it under fluorescent lights and it's really gold. It's beautiful.
A 1965 Ford Mustang she bought in 1964, having only her learner's permit.
I never had gone to take my test because I didn't know how to drive that well. So I ordered it in July and it came in October, $3,050.
That included an extra $287 for air conditioning, according to her original receipt from Fred Jones Ford.
Every time you stopped at a stoplight or a signal line, okay, somebody wanted to rev up and drive it and I just put my foot down and drove off.
Carolyn didn't lose many races in the first Mustang Ford ever made.
You just ran off and left him. You got a V8 here. That's under the hood. It was just fun to have one.
The car was Carolyn's daily driver for 15 years before it ended up parked in a garage for years.
I retired in 2005.
That's when she restored the car back to its original shine.
I don't know why you didn't stay where you were.
Now she's got a good friend to drive her.
I told you to turn around, so back it up.
A really good friend who takes the Honey Gold Mustang to car shows around the country.
I just don't want to put somebody in it that I'm not really sure that they know how to drive, because there's idiots on the streets. You've been on them, you know that, right?
She just tells me to slow down, and occasionally she'd threaten me, and then after a while she'd just sit back and ride.
Lant can tell you the drum brakes may feel a little squishy, but it still has lots of go.
It's just an old car to drive, but it's like brand new old car.
Carolyn thinks she'll eventually sell the classic.
I tell everybody this is my longest relationship.
But 57 years later, this piece of American muscle is still very much her baby.
It's just part of me. It's part of what I am.
I like her.
By the way, yeah, she's great. She doesn't have a name for her car. She never named her car. She said, I'm weird that way, but I love that thing.
And
so,
and she actually let you drive
She let me drive, and
Never again.
There's no power steering, so it takes some getting used to. But the brakes, like I learned really quickly. Like if I want to brake up there, put your foot on it. Yeah, start now. Start now.
Right.
Yeah.